just begun. Laughter fills the air, stories to share, friends all around, living without a care. So come on in, let's dance, let's sing. In Dan's world, we're free. Let happiness reign. Memories we make, every smile is gold, echoing through time, the tales we've told. Candles burning bright, under moon's light, together we shine, everything feels right. So come on in, let's dance, let's sing. In Jan's world, we're free. Let happiness reign. So come on in, let's dance, let's sing. In Jan's world, we're free. Let happiness reign.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Okay, hang on one second here. Let me mute my TV. That's the one that's going off. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. I know I am. You know, I've been busy today, getting some stuff done and everything else. The StreamYard's already out there. For today's topic is already pinned into the description below. So we're all good there. Today we're going to be talking about Tasmania Island. Now this is coming from Wiki, but if you want to go up and look up yourself on other parts of the island and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to. And express your own, express your opinion on it. But I figured we do this, and I'll read the script off. That way, everybody here, ones that can't read and stuff like that, they'll understand what we're doing today. So, let me get this shared. Get that up there. Ah! It's on the microphone. Oh, I can't wait till I win the Farmsville. And I'll get the other microphone. This clumsy thing don't know how to do anything. It doesn't know how to stick right, nothing. I'll figure it out one day. Till I get the other mic. Okay. Now, we got up is Wikia's Tasmanian Devil. Or Tasmanian Island, excuse me. Now, this island is in the state of Australia. So that's another reason why I'd love to go to Australia besides seeing the crocodile zoo, see Melbourne's crocodile zoo. This is another place I would like to see. So let's head on to this. If anybody has questions, you know how to, and ask in the chat. So here we go. All right, let's see. Tasmania is an island state of Australia. It is located 240 kilometers, 150 miles to the south of the Australian mainland, and is separated from it by the Brass Strut. The state encompasses the main island of Tasmania, the 26th largest island in the world. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is the first time I'm reading about this, so we're all, going to learn this together. And surrounding 1,000 islands. It's not no big thing. Excuse me, retract that. It's a big island. It might even be the size maybe of Hawaii, because Hawaii has a lot of islands. And I know my father-in-law is from Hawaii, and his mom's now passed, but okay, it is Australia's smallest and least populous state, with, at that time, what they're saying, they might have updated it, but this was back in June of 2003, but they had 5,073,479 people, residents, as of June 2023. That's a lot of people. The state capital and largest city is Hobart, with around 40%. Let's see, 40%. Give me a second. My eyes just like of the population living in the greater Hobart area. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I do apologize. I am trying. Now, as you see on the side here, here's the map of Teasel, the Apple Island, the Holiday Island. There's French there, and then the English is fraternity, and faithfulness. Ugh. Please don't, it's like, don't hold me on my mispronunciation. It happens. What do you expect? I'm 55 years old, so. Okay. Let me see here. Let me scroll back up. I'm sure I got everything. Okay. Tasmania is the most decentralized state in Australia, with the lowest proportion of its residents living within its capital city. Tasmanian main island was the first inhabited by Aboriginal peoples who who today generically identifies as Paiwa or Pakania. It is believed that Aboriginal, I'm sorry if I'm mentioning, like spouting that up, but Tasmanians became isolated from the main island with the Aboriginal original group around 11,700 years ago. Now, it might have went up by now. It's like I said, um, as we read, this was made back in 2023. So, and I can make it bigger for you if you guys want me to. That way you won't see my ugly face. There we go. That way you can see it better. Okay, as you see, before the Federation, the colony of Tasmania, the Federation was built back in January 1st of 1909, named for Abel Tasman. The capital of the state is, the Hobart, the largest city, and then 42, 52, and 50S. And I guess that's, the largest around, and 147, 1930 East. So the East is more than the South. 29 local governments in the area. Denominations was Tasmanian, Taswanian, Corio, Van Diemenon, and Humagus. And if I spell, I apologize. I'm trying. Okay. Let me see here. I got through that part. It is believed Aboriginal Tasmania became isolated from the mainland. Yeah, I read that. When rising sea levels formed Bass Strait. In 1803, Tasmania was permanently settled by the Europeans as a penal statement of the British Empire. So the British, which is in the UK, helped build this make the island name and stuff and be a part of it. Partly to present the French territorial claims during the Napoleonic Wars at the time of the British arrival. Now this is going back like way before we were born. The Aboriginal population is estimated to have been between 3,000 and 7,000 within 3 decades. However, this number declined drastically due to the violent conflicts known as, and right here it says, before anybody thinks I'm racist, I'm not, it says it right here, Black War. And it says the Black War was a period of violent conflict between the British colonists and the other name of the Tasmanians in Tasmania. From the mid-1820s to 1832, which participated the near extermination of the ingorgitus population. The conflict was fought largely as a guerrilla war by both sides, some 600 to 900 about. And okay, now we're going to go back in here. And the spread of the infectious disease at the time was pathogens, there were modifications, and the reactions of the host tissue to infectious agent and the toxins they produce. An infectious disease is an illness resulting from an infection, and some infectious disease are also communicable. It could be transmission. In other words, it can be passed along. And over here, you guys, I know you guys are a couple of seconds behind me, but over here, it's like we've already went over this stuff up till the March. Okay, let me get my thing over here. The March, which is the king right now, is okay, right there. Am I doing that right? Right. Okay, it's Charles III, which his son is partially taking over to help his father with the decisions and making new laws and stuff like that. The governor was Barbara Baker at that time, and the prime minister was Germany Rockcliffe, and he was liberal. Legislators was permitted of Tasmania, Legislators Council, House of Assembly, and then the jurisdictory, the Supreme Court of Tasmania, and lower courts. And then the Parliament of Australia was the Senate with 12 senators of 76. House of Representatives were at that time 5 seats of 150. So that's a lot. Okay, now as we go back into here, it says the Black War peace between 1825 and 1831 resulted in the declaration of martial law for more than 3 years and causing the deaths of nearly 1,100 of that name in the people. And settlers under the British rule, I don't lose my spot here. Under the British rule, the island was intentionally part of the colony of the New South Wales. However, it became a separate colony under the name Diamond's Land, named after Anthony von Diamond, in 1825. Wow. Okay, approximately 80,000 or 80, yeah, 80,000 convicts were sent to Van Diemen's Land before this practice, known as transportation, ceased in 1853 and 18, 1853 till 1855. I don't know why they have an N there. It's supposed to be till. The present Constitution of Tasmania was indicted, and the following year the colony formally changed its name to Tasmania in 1901. It became a founding constitution state of Australia, one of six, through the process of the Federation of Australia. Today, Tasmania has the second smallest economy of Australia. States and territories economic activities involve principles, say it short, tourism, agriculture, acupuncture, education, and healthcare. Tasmania is a significant agriculture exporter, as well as a significant destination for the ecotourism. About 42% of its land area includes national parks and the World Heritage sites, protected in some forms of reservation. The first environmental political party in the world was found in Tasmania. Okay, now as you see on the side here, like over here. Hold on, let me get my thing. Okay, the total is 68,402 kilometers, the area is, and then 26,410 square miles. The highest elevation is Mount Osha, is 1,617 millimeters, or 5,305 feet. Population of March of 2022 was 5,071,165, and that was 6. Destiny was 8.9 kilometers and 23.1 square miles, and that was put in the 4th category. The GSP totals estimated back in 2020, it was estimated, Australian dollars were 32,102 billion. And then underneath that, per capital prices were 59,779. The gin of it was 44.8. The HDI of it was 0.935. and that was very high. Okay, so wait till the screen catches up a little bit. Okay, and then time zones. Okay, summer is EST, UTC plus 10 hours in the AEST, United States of America, I guess it is. And then the UTC plus 11 is AEDT. And the postal abbreviation is TAS. The ISO is 31,606. Well, 31,066 code. And that's Australia, the AU, short abbreviation of TAS for Tasmania. Give me a little bit of time here. Catch up. Okay, the yellow wattle bird. Let's see if they have a picture of it since they have, where is my, there it is. That is the picture of the yellow wattle bird. It's unofficial yet. The Anthrocheria Priodoxa. Sorry, folks. Okay. That was stupid. Whoever was trying to text me there. Okay, let's see. The flower is the Tasmanian blue gum, which it's going to be right under here. That's the Tasmanian blue gum, or southern blue gum, could be either one. It's a species of flower plant in the family Myriascotidae. It is a tall evergreen tree, enormity to southeastern Australia. This Eucalyptus species has most smooth barks, juvenile leaves that are whitish and white. That is pretty darn neat. Okay, what's next here? The mammal is, of course, it's going to be Tasmanian devil. That's a given right there. And I have seen they have a lot of zoo has Tasmanian devil. He's so cute though. He's supposed to be a mean, vicious mammal, which when you see him in the zoo, he's like a cuddle bug. He's almost like a cat. They're like a cat. Okay, the plant is leatherwood, unofficial. They have not, really stated yet. Okay, the colors are bottle green, PMS 342, yellow PMS 114, and the Monron is PMS 194. Those I don't know what the PMSs means for, so I was trying to look that up and I could not find it anywhere. Mineral is uh, crack OT. Okay, that just scared me, my bird. So, alright, we're going to get down in this part here. As you see, look at that big land. That's all Tasmania right here. That big land right there. And that was taken from space. And they got a beautiful picture of it. It's amazing what they can get up in space compared to what you can actually see down here on Earth. Okay, let's see. Tasmania is named after Dutch explorer Abel Tasman, who made the first report European sight of the island on the 24th November 1642. Mm, sorry about that. My throat didn't want to open to swallow. Okay. Tasmanians named the island Anthony Van Diemen's Land after after his sponsor, Anthony Van Diemen, the governor of the Dutch East Indies. The name was later shortened to Van Diemen's Land by the British. It was officially renamed Tasmania in honor of its first European discovery on the 1st of January 1856. Tasmania was sometimes referred to as Deberon, as mentioned in the Juvenile Dietering letter written by the notorious Australian bushranger Ned Kelly in 1879. The quarrel expression of nickname for the state is Tassie. Tasmania is also sometimes referred by its short form name Tas, mainly when written in businesses names, website addresses. Tas is also the Australian Post abbreviation for the state. Interesting. Name from indigenous language in the to get up there in the constructed Powua Kainai language. The main island of Tasmania is called Luwarwinta, a name originally um, derived from the Brunei Islands, Tasmania's language. George Augustus Robin recorded it as low true witter, but also as crow war nar. There's so many different names. Uh, it's like I said, I would love to go here. This is something interesting. Probably from one or more of the northeastern Tasmanian language. However, he also recorded his name for Cape Barwon Island in the 20th century. Some writers used it as a abnorigel. I can't say that word. I apologize, guys. Name for Tasmania, spelled Crowania or Crowana. It is now believed that the name is more popular applied to Camp Barwon Island, which has had an official dual name of Crowana since 2014. A number of Pawana Kanai names based on historical records, names, and have been accepted by the Tasmanian government. A dozen of those below are dual-use bilingual names, and another two are unbonded areas with only Bawana names. Now, some of these names I might not be able to pronounce, but I'll let it sit here for a second so you can look at different names and see, see for yourself. Hi, Trucker. Thank you, Trucker. Thank you for coming in. Laura Puna and unbound areas center on the Bay of Fires. Jamie, you could let them be unless he said something rude. Just leave it be. If he says something really rude, then we'll deal with it. Till then, let him talk in here. Because if he has anything to say and it's mean, it's going to reflect on him, not us. Larapona, an unbounded area centered on the Bay of Fire. Napupu National Park, formerly as Asbestos Ranger National Park. Paluna, an unbounded area centered on Osher Cove. Oh, I heard of Osher Cove. That's a that's that one island that if you remember the movie Blue Lagoon or Blue Lagoon, it had Brooke Shields in it, and the other gentleman, I can't think of his names, they grew up on it as kids. That I've heard of, and that's where they were. That's where they filmed from. including the community of the Osher Cove. There are also a number of agriculturalist sites with Paula names. Some of these names have been contentious, with names bringing purpose without constitution, with that word again, community, or without having a connection to the place in question. And as well as the diverse First Nations geography, where remnants are preserved in rough form by European documentation, Tasmania is known as a place for unorthodox place names. These names come after about from lost definitions, where deceptive names have lost their old meanings and have taken on new moderation interpretations. Bob Knobs and other names have retained the original meaning and are often quite or enduring descriptions. Paradise. Okay. I know it's a little bit early, but I gotta go to the bathroom quick. So go ahead, take a break and everything. Enjoy the media song I came up with break. You guys are gonna love it. It's a funny song. Let me see, make sure I got the right one here. Let's see here. I gotta make sure I have the right song here. Nope.
Tune gotta put the wiggle in the dance, haha. Be right back, stick around. Be right back, stick around, grab your drinks, snacks. The wiggle starts in a minute.
In the dim lit office floor, the clock ticks slow. We lean back in our chairs, let the papers go. Coffee mugs empty and emails in
Okay, I'm back. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. If you can hear me, I'm coming back in here, so give me a second. It's been one of those days for me, so I gotta be careful, otherwise I will fall. Okay, let's sing back down here. I hope everybody enjoyed that song. That was funny. That was the Wiggles. I mean, I do have another Wiggle song, but I just haven't. It was from another site, and they wanted me to. They wanted me to go and you know, pay for, and here now, since I have my cousin's stuff, I can actually write the songs, and I have Canva, which, I have everything licensed. So, we're good. Alright, so where did we leave off here? We left off of the main article of history of Tasmania. Physical history, main article, geography of Tasmania. I cannot read that. That is way, even for my glasses, that is way too small on that map. Little map on the side there, on the left side. Okay. Tassel pavement, a rare rock formation on the island of Peninsula. It's also, Peninsula is also a flower. Okay. Ready to read on here. Adjoined to the mainland of Australia until the end of the last tidal period, about 11,700 years ago. Much of the island is composed of Jurassic diorite intrusions, the upwelling of the magma through the rocks types, sometimes forming large communary joints. Tasmania has the world's largest area of diorites, with many distinctive mountains and cliffs formed from the rock type. The center plateau and the southeast portions of the island are mostly dioritories, mountains, Mount Wellington and Hobart. And is a good example showing distant commons known as the Organe pipes. In the South Midlands, in the South Midlands, as far south as Hobart, the diorite is underlaid by sandstone and similar sedimentary stones in the southwest. Precambrian quartzites were formed from berry agent sediments and formed strikingly sharp ranges such as foundation or give me a second, folks. Get my head back into it. Federation Peak or Frenchman's Cap in the northeast and east. Ontario, Great Knights can be seen, such as at Bracenet, similar to coastal grenades on mainland Australia in the northwest and west, material-rich volcanic rocks, and can be seen at Mount Reed near Rosebery or Mount Lyell near Queenstown. Also present in the south and northwest is limestone with caves. Ooh! The quartzite and dorite areas in the higher mountains show evidence of glaciation, and much of Australia's glaciated landscape is found on the centre plateau and the southwest. So this is interesting. I mean, there's a lot more stuff over in Australia than we got here in the US, even in probably the UK. So that is like amazing. That is amazing. Okay. Cradle Mountains, another direct peak, for example, was the Nana Tak. The combination of these different rocks types contributes to the scenery, which is distant from any other region of the world. In the far southwest corner of the state, the geography is almost royally quartzite, which gives the mountains the false impression of having snow-capped peaks year-round. Wow. Okay, there's that big word again I can't pronounce. Evidence indicates the presence of that name and people in Tasmania about 42,000 years ago. Rising sea levels cut Tasmania off from mainland Australia about 10,000 years ago. And by the time of European contact, the people in Tasmania had 9 major nations or ethnic groups at the time of the British occupation and colonists in 1803. The indigenous population was estimated at between 3,000 and 10,000. Okay, 10,000. And on the side there, you see 1807 engraved by explorer Charles and Alexandre Lechner, sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, shows the seafaring, that word again, people and a large canoe on the eastern shore of uh, Scotchin Island. But there it is, people on the boats coming over the different mountains. Uh, you can actually possibly see a volcano in that picture. Different stuff. Historian Landau Ryan's um, analysis of population studies led her to conclude that there were about 7,000 spread throughout the island's 9 nations. Nicholas commits citing the research by N.J.B. Plomney and Rice Jones, settling on a figure of 3,000 to 4,000. They engage in fire stick farming, hunted games including kangaroos and wallabies. I'm trying to say the name. They've caught seals, mutant birds, shellfish, and fish, and lived as 9 separate nations on the island, which they knew as Trowana. Wow. Give me a second here. Okay. Let's see. The Tasmania was an island, and above that you actually see a gentleman that's there. That's which the Dutch explorer Abigail Tasman, the first European to sight the island back in 1642. And 1 second. What the hell? There we go. Give me a second here, guys. Okay, I'm back. I just had to turn off Do Not Disturb on my phone. Okay. Sealers and whalers based themselves on Tasmania Island from 1798, and in August 1803, the New South Wales government, Bill King, sent Lieutenant John Bowman to establish a small military outpost on the eastern shore of the Darwin River in order to forestall any claims to the island by the French explorers who had been exploring the southern Australian coastline. Bowen, who led a party of 49, including 21 males and 3 females convicts, named the camp Rison. Several months later, a second settlement was established by the Captain David Collins with 308 convicts, 5 kilometers, 3.1 miles to the south in Savannah's Cove on the western side of the Derwent, where fresh water was more plentiful. The latter statement became known as Hobart Town and Hobartation, Hobarton, later shortened to Hobart after the British colony secretary after the British colony secretary of the time, Lord Hobart. The settlement at Rison was later abandoned, left on their own without further supplies. The Civilians Cove settlement suffered severe food shortages, and by 1806, its inhabitants were starving, and many resourcing to scraping seaweed off rocks and salvaging washed up whale blubber from the shores to survive. Okay, give me 1 second. I will be right back. I gotta go talk to my father-in-law in a second. I'll be right back. So please stand by. Maybe my birds will talk to you for a second. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I had to remind my father-in-law of something. God dang. Try not to knock anything over here and shit. Okay, I am sorry, folks, that I'm back and forth here today. It's been one of those kind of days. I don't know if it'll be this Friday or next Friday, but one of these Fridays I'm going to have a surprise and you guys are going to get a big surprise. I think you guys will enjoy it, but we'll have a special Friday. Okay, now, make sure everything's hooked up there. Alright. Okay. Shores to survive. A similar colony established the Port Dalrymple on a Tamar River in the islands north in October 1804. Wow. And several other convict-based settlements were established. And let me take a sip of my drink. It's my throat. I've been dealing with a little bit of sore throat and stomach problem, stomach troubles a little bit. But I'm here. And several other convicted-based settlements and establishments, including the particular harsh penal colonies at Port Arthur. In the southeast and Macquarie Harbor on the west coast, Tasmania was eventually sent 75,000 convicts, 4 out of every 10 transported to Australia by 1819. And big letter, Aboriginal. And British population reached a party with about 5,000 of each, although among the colonists, men outnumbered the women 4-1. Free settlers began arriving in large numbers from 1820, lured by the promise of land grants and free convict labor. Settlement in the island's northwest corner was Monlicious by the Van Diemen's Land Company, which sent its first surveyors to the district in 1826. By 1830, 1/3 of the Australia's non-inclusive population lived in Van Diemen's Land, and the island accounted for about half of all land under civilization and exports. Interesting. Now here we come to this. Now this is all in Wikipedia, so that, don't, like I said again, I am not racist. This is what they're writing in here. So if you have a problem, go to Wikipedia. Okay. Alright, the Black War. Tensions between Tasmania's Aboriginal and white inhabitants rose, partly driven by increasing competitions for kangaroo and other games, which we already read this. Why did they ask me to read it again? Okay, this might be a little bit different or more into it. Competition of the kangaroo and other games explored the novel Officer John Orley in 1810 noted the many arcuous cruelties. Wow. Okay, this is continuing into it to explain more. So I'm not reading the same thing over again. Okay. Inflicted on Aboriginal people by convict bushrangers, rangers, in the north, which in turn led to black attacks on solitary white hunters. Hostilities increased further with the arrival of 600 colonists from Norfolk Island between 1807 and 1813. They established farms along the river Derwent and east and west of Lunk Centuin, occupied 10% of Bond uh, Diamond's land. By 1824, the colony population was swelled to 12,600, while the island sheep population had reached over 2 million or 200,000. The rapid colonization transformed traditionally kangaroo hunting ground into farms with grazing livestock as well as fences, hodges, and stone walls, while police and military patrol were increased to control the combat farm laborers. Okay. Violence began to spiral rapidly from the mid-1820s in what became described as the Black War. Aboriginal inhabitants were driven to desperation by hunger that included a desire for agricultural produce, as well as feeling anger and prevalence of abductions of women and girls. New settlers, motivated by fear, carrying out self defense operations as well as attack as a means of suppressing the native threat, or even in some cases um, exacting revenge. Van Diemen's Land had an enormous gender imbalance, with men colonists outnumbering females 6-1 in 1822, and 16-1 among the convent population. Historian Nicholas Clement has suggested the victorious appetite for native women was the most important trigger for the explosions of violence from the late 1820s. Wow. Why can't we all just get along? From 1829 or 25 to 1828, the number of native attacks more than doubled each year, raising panic among settlers. Over the summer of 1826 to 1827, clans from the Big River, Oyster Bay, and North Midlands nations speared shopkeepers on farms and made it clear that they wanted to settlers and their sheep and cattle to move from their kangaroo hunting grounds. Settlers responded uh, vigorously, resulting in many mass killings. In November of 1826, Governor Sir George Arthur issued a government notice declaring the colonists were free to kill Aboriginal people when they attacked settlers or their property, and in the following 8 months, more than 200 Aboriginals people were killed in the settled districts in reprisal for the deaths of 15 colonists. After another 8 months, the death toll had risen to 43 colonists and probably 350 Aboriginal people. In April 1828, Arthur issued a proclaim, proclamation of democratic forbidding Aboriginal people to enter the settled districts without a passport issued by the government. Arthur declared martial law in the colonies in November that year, and this remained in force for over 3 years, the longest period of martial law in Australian history. Oh, see, this is stuff I never knew. So this is like, I'm learning. In November 1830, Arthur organized a so-called Black Line, ordering every able-bodied male colonist to assemble at one of the seven designed places in the settled districts to join a massive drive to sweep Aboriginal people out of the region and onto the Tasman Peninsula. The campaign failed and was abandoned 7 weeks later by the Tasmania Aboriginal population had fallen to about 300. Oh, shoot. Okay, removal of the original people. After hostile between settlers and Aboriginal people ceased in 1832, almost all the remnants of the Indorsius, I hate when it does that, Indorsius population were pursued by government agent George August Robinson to move to Benders Benders Island. Many quickly subdued to infectious disease to which they had no immunity, reducing the population further. Of those remained from Tasmania, the last to die was True Ganadi in 1876. The near destination of Tasmania Aboriginal population has been described as an act of genocide by historians including Robert Hughes, James Boyce, Lindell, Ryan, Tom Larson. However, other historians include Harry, excuse me, my bronchitis. Um, yeah, Harry Reynolds or Henry Reynolds, Richard Bruman, and Nicholas Clement did not agree with the genocide thesis, arguing that the colonial authorities did not indeed to destroy the Aboriginal population in whole or in part. Boise has claimed that the April 1828 proclaims completion, separating the anomalies from the white inhabitants, sanctioned force against the Aboriginal people for no other reason than that they were Aboriginals. However, as um, Reynolds, Brooming, and Clements pointed out, there was open warfare at the time. Boyce described the decision to remove all Tasmanian Aboriginal people after 1832. We're almost done, guys. I didn't think it was this long. Okay, as an extremely policy position. Wait, by which, okay, I skipped a line. By which time they could given up the fight against the white colonists as an extreme policy position. He concluded the colony government from 1832 to 1838 ethical cleansed the western half of Vine Diamond's land. Nevertheless, Clements and Flood note that there was another wave of violence in northwest Tasmania in 1841 involving attacks on settlers' huts by a band of original Tasmanians who had not been removed from the island. Proclamation as a colony. Van Diemen's Land, which these bar had existed as a territory with the colony of New South Wales and proclaimed a separate colony with its own judicial establishment and legislative council on December 3rd of 1825. Transportation to the island ceased in 1853, and the colony was renamed Tasmania in 1856, partly to differentiate the Burgundy Society of Free Settlers from the island convict past. The Legislative Council of Van Diemen's Land drafted a new constitution where gained royal access was that? As such, in 1855, the Provincial Council also approved the colony changing its name from Van Diemen's Land to Tasmania. And in 1856, the newly educated bicameral parliament sat for the first time, establishing Tasmania as a self-governing colony of the British Empire. The colony suffered from economy fluctuations, but for the most part was prestigious, experiencing steady growth with few external threats and strong trade links with the empire. Tasmania enjoyed many fruit-filled periods in the late 19th century, becoming a world central of shipbuilding. It raised a local defensive force that eventually played a significant role in the Second Boer War in South Africa, and Tasmanian soldiers in that conflict won the first two Victoria Crosses award to Australians. Federation. In 1901, the colony of Tasmania united with the other Australian colonies to form the Commonwealth of Australia. Tasmanians voted in favor of the Federation with the largest majority of all the Australian colonies. The 20th and 21st century, Tasmania was an early adopter of electric street lighting. Australia's first electric street lights were switched on in Warta in 1886. The location became the first complete electrified city on the island in 1885. Followed closely by the township of Zeehan in 1900s. The state economy was writing, mining, servitude until the World War I in 1901. The state population was 1,072,475. The 1910 foundations of what would become Hydro Tasmania began to shape urban patterns, as well as future major damming programs. Hydro's influence committed in the 1970s when the state governor announced plans to flood environmental significant Lake Peter as a result of eventually flooding of Lake Peter. The world's first Green Party was established. The United Tasmania Group, national and international attention surrounded the campaign against the Franklin Dam in the early 1980s. Tasmanian Eden Loynes became the first female member of the House of Representatives at the 1943 federal elections, and the first female and the first yeah, I was going to say the first female to serve in the federal cabinet. In May 1948, Margaret I can't pronounce her last name, achieved another milestone as a first female elected Hi, Illuminati. Such a cute face. Am I putting you to sleep? I hope you sleep well. Okay. Achieved another milestone as the first female elected to the Parliament of Tasmania. Less than 6 months after her election, M died in the crash of the Latuna. I know you're laughing. Crash of Latuna near Cordy on September 2nd of 1948. After the end of the World War II, the state saw major urbanization and the growth of towns like Stone. It gained a reputation as Scartism of the South, and a health-focused tourist boom began to grow. The Princess of Tasmania began her maiden voyage in 1958. Okay, her voyage in 1959, excuse me. The first car ferry to Tasmania as part of the boom. Tasmania allowed the open of the first casino. Oh yeah, Run Spot Run. That was good. That was a good learning book to read. And adults use that to this. Adults that can't read today, they still read it. So good job, Lou McConaughey. That's good that you remember that book. Okay, Tasmania was allowed the opening of the first casino in Australia in 1968. Queen Elizabeth II visited the state in 1954, and the 50s and 60s were characterized by the opening of major public services. Oh, you retracted it. You retracted it. Oh, are you hiding? You hiding that, huh? That's a shame. That's a shame that you gotta hide your stuff. It means you got something to hide. Okay, by major public services, including the Tasmanian Housing Department and Metro Tasmania Public Bus Services. A jail was opened at Brisbane in 1960, and the State Library of Tasmania. The same year, the University of Tasmania also moved to its present location in 1963. The state was badly affected by the 1967 Tasmanian fires, killing at least 64 people and destroying over 6,500,000 acres in 5 hours. In 1975, the Tasmanian Bridge collapsed when the bridge was struck by a bulk ore carrier, Lake Lawara. It was only bridge in Hobart and made crossing the Derwent River by road at the city impossible. The nearest bridge was approximately 20 kilometers, 12 miles. Okay. To the north at the Bridgewood, or the Bridgewater. Children are going to be children. And there is where the bridge collapsed. Hold on, we'll pull that up again here. On the side here. Yeah, that's the bridge that collapsed right in the middle there. Okay. Throughout the 1980s, strong environmental concerns saw the building of the Australian Arctic Division headquarters and proclamation of the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area. The Franklin Dam was blocked by the federal government in 1983, and CSIRO opened its Marine Studies Central in Hobart. Okay. Pope John Paul II would hold masses at Elwick Racecourse in 1986. The 1990s were characterized by the fight for LGBT rights in Tasmania, culminating in the intervention of the United Nations Human Rights Committee in 1997, and discrimination of homosexuals that year. Christine Mine became the first female leader of the Tasmanian politics party in 1993, and major council emulation, I think that's how you say it, reduced the number of councils from 46 to 29. What time is it? Damn. Hey, might be pulling this up in 2 hours. Wow. Following the Port Arthur massacre on April 28, 1996, which resulted in loss of 35 lives and injured 23 others, the Australian government conducted a review of its firearms policies and enticed new nationwide gun ownership laws under the National Firearms Agreement. Okay. In 2000, Queen Elizabeth II once again visited the state. Guns rose to pronounce as a major forestry company during this decade. only to collapse in 2013. In 2004, Premier Jim Bacon died in office from lung cancer in January of 2011. The philanthropist David Walsh opened the Museum of Old and New Art, Mona, in Hobart to international acclaim. Within 12 months, Mona became Tasmania's top tourist attraction. And there's the picture of what they're showing you of that. It's Port Arthur declared a World Heritage Site, which that's kind of cool. Okay, the C-19 pen in Tasmania resulted in at least 230 cases and 13 deaths as of September 2021 and 2020 after the outbreak of the C, the C2, and it actually spread to Australia. The Tasmanian government issued a public health emergency on March 17th, the following month, receiving the state's most significant outbreak from the north to the west, which required assistance from the federal government in the late 2021. Tasmania was leading the nationwide vaccination response. I don't think we want to go over the geographics. That's, like another hour. But yeah, check out, I do have this pinned in the description down below. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. As from what I've seen earlier, I was reading through it and trying to do what I can. I mean, it's a learning process. I'm still learning. I'm just doing it the way I got learned how to do it to make sure the facts get out there. If you find something, you're more than welcome to talk about it. Leave a comment. All right, we're going to stop sharing that. And we're going to bring me up on full page. Now, if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome to. I don't mind. As long as you're respectful. That's all I ask. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get this in there. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, yeah, it was long. Yeah, but hey, we got to learn something. And actually, embracing something that I didn't know about. Now that part we never studied, back when I was in school. So that was pretty neat, sitting there reading it and learning from it. It's something that was enjoying, to sit here and read and find out like all the different stuff around it. And I hope you enjoyed the break song there, Wiggles. There's a funny story to that. I'll have to tell you one day. But yeah, I mean, shit. That was one of the good memories. Funny memories. But as you know, I have a new intro and I have a new outro. Some may not like the outro and some may like the outro. But I don't care. I'm trying to do this. I'm learning how to. Today was my first thumbnail I put up. And I thought that was kind of cool. I am starting to learn different stuff. I'm taking my time with it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not rushing or trying not to rush. And just get in that, get in that spot where I can keep going. Give me 1 second, please, guys. I'm going to put on the thing.
Incoming voice call from Dan. Tune gotta put the wiggle in the dance, haha. Be right back, stick around. Be right back, stick around, grab your drink snacks. The wiggle starts in a minute.
In the dim lit office floor, the clock ticks slow. We lean back in our chairs, let the papers go. Coffee mugs empty and emails in draft. We find the joy where the laughter is shared. It's break time, wiggles and giggles, all so bright. Shake the rush and feel the delight. Forget the worries and the lines we drew. In a world of joy where dreams come true. Laughter echoes down the empty hallways, from whispered jokes to carefully displays. We dance on deadlines, let the burdens roam, finding joy in the simplest little poem. It's break time, wiggles and giggles, all so bright. Shake the rush and feel the delight. Forget the worries and the lines we drew. In a world of joy where dreams come true.
Okay, sorry about that. It was a phone call from my husband. I had to get that done. Don't worry about where I'm smoking, dude. You don't live here. You don't pay my bills. You don't pay my rent. So please don't worry about it. Okay? I appreciate you asking, but you don't need to worry about it, okay? Anyway, as I was saying before I got interrupted, yeah, this is my time to work on my channel. I'm gonna do what I can. Like I said, one of these Fridays, you all are gonna get a surprise, which I can't wait for because I think you guys enjoy it. Also, I got other things. I'm actually working with Jamie. We're gonna be doing the heavens thing he has set up. And we're going to be trying that when he can set it up. So there's that. And all I ask from anybody is please do your own judgment. You are free to go on this platform and do whatever. You know, this big platform. You can go see whoever and everything else. You don't have to stick with one thing. And if people are saying, hey, well, you were doing this, you can't be in this, that's not helping your channel. That's just having people rethink on why they shouldn't be in that channel. I love everybody. I don't have no hate. But I am going to say is it's got to stop. Now, I'm not mentioning no names or nothing like that. I want to move forward. I want to show what I can do. Even though it's going to be a slow progress and take me a little bit of time. But we're going to do it. And so what if I'm talking to Jamie? Me and Jamie have an understanding. And, you know, we're trying to work on it. So far, so good. We've both been we've been decent with each other and everything, but we're not pushing it. Thank you for the hearts. And we're slowly starting to work again. It's not an overnight thing. It's a progress thing. That's another reason why I'm sticking with on my channel, doing the StreamYards and stuff. I will learn OBS one of these times. But I'm not going to constantly use OBS, maybe on special occasions or something like that. I'm happy with StreamYards. I'm happy the fact that now, as you see, I'm not having problems with the computer no more. I have a cooling vent under it. I have a second computer to where I can bring stuff up, put it up on the panel, and different stuff like that. So if you give me the chance to show you that I can do it, I really appreciate that. Give me a chance. Let me show. Because you can look through all my videos, and you can see I'm not a bad person. If you think I'm not much of a bad person, then you don't have to watch me. But I would really like if you would try and give that support. You can support anybody. I don't care who it is. I'm not holding anybody back. I never want to do that. That's not my intention. My intention is to be friends on here, to be friends, and have a good time. With like bringing up stuff from like the wiki. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the wiki, and there's some that do. Me, on the other hand, I like the wiki because there's some stuff in there. Yeah, every now and then might be outdated, but they do eventually update it. So, like I said, you gotta give that a chance. And what I'm going to do right now, before I end, is I'm going to tell you who's all live, like I normally do. And stick around for the intro or the outro. You'll like that. Some people will and some people may not. But okay. Pulling it up here. Alright, here we go, guys. This is my way of telling you Where do you see, okay, speak easy, right? Simple way I'm going to tell you. Do you see anywhere in my videos of me being a racist? No. Have you ever seen me dox anybody? No. Just because I'm friends with somebody, doesn't mean I gotta be, a doxing and whatever else. I'm not. And that you will learn at the time. How did I dox Jamie? I ain't dox him. I ain't dox. I ain't put no addresses out there. I ain't put no cities out there. I ain't doxed Dina. Not one bit. There was no addresses. You showed me where coming out of my mouth, that I doxed. That email, okay, I'm going to discuss this one last time. That email had Jamie's name in it. He had every right to have that, had that to him. I would do the same thing for anybody fucking else. But I've been keeping my patience. I've been trying to move forward. I've been doing a hell of a lot more than what you fucking think I'm doing. And not in a bad way. Yes, it does. Jamie's already showed it on his channel. His name is in the email where, it was written. And he wants to associate me for something that has nothing to do with me. And I haven't sent Jamie any other emails. I talked to Jamie. No. Oh, what Jamie put out or in text or whatever? Hell, that's public information. That's public information. But I ain't the one that doxed it. Nice try. Yeah, it is. And a really close friend of hers had talked to me too. So I didn't dox. Nobody was doxed. There was no addresses. That's what was doxed. That's doxing, is addresses. I didn't dox nobody with anything like that. Yeah, one of her closest friends that she used to be friends with. And they can't believe how far this is being taken when it doesn't ever need to be. It doesn't need to even be. And we can go further, you know, if we need to, but I don't want to. I want to be able to move on and actually do the stuff I want to do. And I'm planning on doing that. So you can sit there and talk your talk, but it's not going to make any difference. No threats. I don't have to threat. I don't need a threat. What's that get you at the end of the day? Nothing. If you actually see the real me and actually watch me, you see I don't fucking do any of that shit. Yeah, and I took care of it. Then when the person got attacked, I let it go and let him defend himself. Yeah, it's still on here. Because I don't have nothing to fucking hide. Unlike some people. See, I don't edit my shit. The only one I deleted was the birthday one because there was a blooper in it. No, I don't. Free speech. Did you forget that? You're so worried about everything else, but not seeing what's in front. All you're doing is listening to somebody going blah, 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 and boom. There you do. I never talked to anybody. Oh, I understand my rights very well. Shit, it won't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time. Hi, Miss Kuwait Breeze. Oh, it normally is fun, but people like Big Easy Rider wants to come in and try to ruin it. And I'm just sitting here telling them, I am a nice person. I like having fun with people. I like chatting. You know, he's trying to change, but nobody wants him to change. That's the problem. Yes, it is public information. I wasn't trying to, but they got upset because one of my friends said the N word, and because I shook my head and giggled and rolled my eyes, I got yelled at. And I only stayed there 10 minutes. I didn't associate with it. I didn't put it out there. I have more common sense than that. See the way I am. See the way I am is there's a lot of people on here that say that word and I ignore it. There's no reason. Unless they're physically coming to hurt you and say it to your actual face in person, to me it's just a word. It's like sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's how I was raised. The one day Jason had said it, Speaker and I put him down in the basement for a little bit because he knew he screwed up. And I brought him back up. But the one day he was arguing with another person, and I'm giving him that right to, yeah, I'm Caucasian, white. So what? Doesn't matter what color you are. As you know, we all bleed the same color red. That's what I look at. Big, you need timed out for 24 hours until you sit there and we think about it. Make sure I got the right person here. No, wait, where are you at? I'm tired of it. Right, I understand that in the real world it is harmful. I wish, let me tell you, Miss Queen, I understand that it's harmful in the real world, okay? But we're not living in the past. We're not living in that past where it was so bad. We can actually change it for the future. That's all I'm getting at. I don't hate anybody. I have no bad feelings for anybody. I'm just trying to be me. I have a different way of looking at stuff than others do. And it's like I said, I don't care whoever's purple, whatever, yellow, whatever. Green. I don't care. We still, when we get cut or hurt, cut or something, we still bleed the same fucking color. That's how I see it. Right, and I do try to be respectful around other people. But they need to understand everybody has their own opinions, their own ways of doing stuff. It's like you seem like a very nice lady. Well, it's kind of hard to keep my opinions to myself when I get asked them, and I tell the truth. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to get across that we can move forward. We all can unite because there's a lot of shit going on the outside of this world. We need to start uniting. Stand up together. Otherwise, we're going to be right back, going way backwards, not forward. That's what I'm trying to do, Miss Quaid. And every time I try to show it, you look at any one of my videos, you'll see I'm not racist. I don't say the M word. I don't, I try to help and move forward, making, people understand that we're not in the past anymore. That's all I'm doing. Ninja's just a word. I mean, how they use ninja in what? Uh, Karate Kid. They use ninja in other places. The movies. That has nothing to do with that N word. Would you rather have him saying that word, or would you want him to say the N word? Gamers. I can't control what comes out of his mouth, just like he can't control me. I can't control you. I can't control Miss Quaid. I can't control anybody. That's on them. That deflects them. And that's what I've been trying to do, but Mr. Gamers wants to put it out there and keep rubbing it in and keep it going instead of just dropping and letting it fucking go. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. What am I doing now? What? Standing up for my beliefs and what I was taught to do? Seriously, come on. My question exactly, why would I? No, I don't wish anybody to be hurt. It's like I said, I can't control what anything comes out of anybody's mouth. No, I never doxed anyone. Oh, if you need to know, it's an inhaler. Oh, that's right. It's my inhaler. Hey, he wanted up the ante. He wanted to dox my city. He wanted to do everything else, so he upped the ante. What am I supposed to do? He's mad at a person, which he's going through me, using me to go after the person. The Gamers Asylum. No, I did not, gamers. Knock it off. You show me where I doxed Tina. Last video you did? The other video? I ain't doxed anybody. God. Move on, gamers. Do what you're doing over in your show. Go do what you want to do. I'm doing what I'm doing over here. And you said my city name. Go look at your footage. I'm not stepping back and I'm not going to be silenced. Just like you said. Yeah. But you said me. You had said my name to it. I did not threaten to silence you. No. Gamers, knock it off. Stop twisting it around. Once again, exaggeration. Sorry, Miss Quay. No, gamers. Nope. You wish, but I'm not. Go worry about what you're doing on your platform, and I'll worry about what I do on mine. That's the best thing for you. Then it all stops. How? Whoa! Where do you see me doxing? Where do you see me doxing? Where? And Miss Quay, he doesn't feel bad about the stuff he did to me. Why should I feel bad about the stuff about him? I haven't doxed. I haven't said anything racial. Nothing like that. And yeah, I'm getting mad because I'm getting annoyed because all he wants to do is try to ruin my channel. How did I dox him? I didn't tell him his address. I didn't say anything. I didn't say what even city he's in. Why? When it's, it's a public information. Maybe somebody, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't even go there. On public information. But I don't sit there and spur out fucking shit that's not true. Why? Dane did nothing wrong. You're adding somebody that doesn't even come on here on YouTube very often. Hardly ever. So you're gonna. So you want to do that? He does his own thing, I do my own thing. Yeah, he did. He did. Check out, it's either on the Lone Wolf channel that he has, or it's on the Asylum. Unless he freaking hit it or edited it. But Dave doesn't come on here often. He doesn't hardly ever come on here. It's maybe say hi, and that's about it. He has nothing to do with this. No, I'm not being mean and spiteful. Because he took a jab at me, and then he took a jab at my husband. And that's the damn truth. I know, Miss Quate, you're trying. And I'm not trying to, I don't mean to have my voice raised at you. It's him. No, those messages were legit off my cell phone. I can't be responsible for anybody else's decisions. Just like they can't be responsible with mine. Oh, yeah, IA's gonna, yeah, right. I ain't eating. IA is fucked up fucking program. It's not big. No, I didn't put her address out. I didn't put anything out. I didn't even put her number out or phone number. And hey, he upped the ante. He went the ante up. And I had to talk to somebody because if I didn't talk and get, my chest, things off my chest, you started that to begin with, gamers. It don't feel so nice, does it? I saw the tears in your fucking eyes almost coming down. It hurt, didn't it? How you think I felt? I don't bring people in the fucking conversation. I don't add people in to go after somebody. Not like you do. Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting, gamers. Because when I showed them the stuff I got, they're going to sit there and laugh at you. How are you? No, you're not. Again, I didn't talk to anybody and I didn't do any threats. Once again. And I told you you'll get your, and I've said it how many times? You will have your equipment when I get paid at the end of the month. No, because he wants to scare the people, anybody that wants to come in here, he wants to scare them away. That's why he's causing all this commotion. But I didn't do it. That is not my problem. Well, it's going to have to be. Because you know I only get paid once a month. And I'm on a limited income. Yeah, but I didn't nobody released her address. Nobody released her full name, her right name. None of that was done. Well, it's going to have to be, gamers. Because you're not going to get it until then. And once it's out of my hand and FedExes, I have nothing to do with it. That's my decision. If I want to be friends with Jamie, I'll be friends with Jamie. I'm tired of people telling me who I can hang with and who I can't. I'm 55 years old. I am a nice person, but when these guys come in and want to start with me like they are, I'm going to stand my ground. It is when these guys aren't in here starting their commotions, trying to want to scare people away because it makes them feel good. Makes them think that they have something. And I agree, it is ridiculous. Because they don't want me. They don't want me to move on. They don't want me to stream. They don't want me to do content. Because if I, because they're scared. They know I can do it. Yeah, the world is getting fair. I mean, all the freaking shit out there is coming in here, and which is ridiculous. You can sit there, you know what? If you got a problem with that person, you take it up with that person. My God. Well, right now I'm gonna be kind of up on the defensive, guilty, and I have every right to be. I have every right to stand my ground. And that's what I'm trying to do, Illuminati. I am trying to stop the hate. But it doesn't help. It doesn't help when gamers fucking saying they're doing what he's doing. I ignore it as best as I can. But when he comes in here and he does that kind of crap, he can't leave me alone. I try not to. I really do, Miss Quay. I try not to hurt anybody. Well, I'm not trying. The thing is, I'm not trying to be hateful. That's not me. But I also got to stand up for my rights, too. I got to stand my ground. I got to defend myself. If I don't defend myself, they'll sit there and say, oh, she's hiding, oh, this and that. Oh, it was a good stream until he came in and started up. And Big Easy. Now, I'm sorry you came into that, Miss Quay. No, I never exposed her. No. I didn't give out her address. I don't even know what her real name is. I don't even know where she lives. I understand that, Guilty. I really do. I understand that you're trying that. But everybody wants to hear one side. They don't want to hear mine. I've said my piece several times. I even freaking sat there and read what I freaking wrote to Dana. And I'm being accused of that being fake when it's not. And they want to say it's fucking fake. It's not. I don't know her full name, Mrs. Quaid. All she goes on here is by whatever and Dana. We were fine up till that day, that one day. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I never wanted to hurt her. But Gamer seems that, he has to up the ante and try to get me to where I'm supposed to feel sad and shit. When I'm trying to move on from the shit, he wants to keep on bringing it up back in my face. I did nothing wrong to her. At least not intentional. I just have a different way of looking at stuff. I try to look at stuff as positive, not this negative bullcrap. I even said that if she did get hurt, I apologized. I tried to make it be. Because all my life I was told I wasn't allowed to do, that I couldn't do nothing. Shit, I got cerebral palsy. I've gotten picked on. I did that. I fought through every fucking thing. And just because I have a different understanding on stuff doesn't mean I'm going to hurt somebody. No. I give people chances. I give people chances to want to try to change. That's how I am. That's how I was raised. But I didn't release nothing that could hurt her. I didn't release an address. I didn't release a full name of hers. I admit when I'm wrong. I admit when if I do something wrong. They're exaggerating, Miss Quaid. They're exaggerating more than what it makes out to be. That's what pisses me off. People want to get that exaggeration out to make it worse than what it really is. I never sold any stories from anyone. Never. I was through domestic violence. I had shit done to me that fucking shit. I shouldn't even be alive, but I am. I don't wish harm to anybody. Anybody. That ain't my intentions. And it never has been. because I never said an address. I never said her full name. A friend of hers that knows her very well gave me just a little thing that she was married. That's it. Doesn't say a name, doesn't say whatever else. That she was married and had several kids. There was no address, no nothing. I kept it back because of what he was doing. And since he wanted to put my husband in it and try to fucking threaten with my husband, that's where the end got stepped up. No, I'm not selfish. I'm just trying to reflect on what they reflect back on them. Showing them that, hey, this shit ain't a joke. Everybody has their opinions. I ain't taking nothing away from that. She didn't do nothing. Her boyfriend over there, Gamers, is the one that's dragging her into all this bullshit. Making it worse than what it really needs to be. But watch his videos, you'll see. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to hurt nobody. But I'll be damned. I'm going to stand my ground if I need to. Her boyfriend did. The only thing she said to me is the fact that it was an overreaction to it because, a friend of mine said the M word. And I wasn't even contributing to it. He exaggerated on a lot of things. But I gave him a taste of what it fucking feels like. And I'm allowed to do that. I don't care if she's a different. I don't care. We all bleed red. The same color. Nobody wants to understand that. That's how I believe with everybody. But he involves her. Figure that out. And I was supposed to sit back and shut my mouth? For what? Get attacked and keep getting fucking bullied and shit? Yeah, they were going after me. Like I said, go check out the videos. Go check out the videos over on the Gamers Asylum. And also check out the Lone Wolf. She wants me to keep her. How can I keep her name out of the mouth when he's the one fucking doing it? You'll see it in the videos. But she still went and addressed it. I felt like it was a attack. In my opinion, I personally think she did crafting. That's my opinion. And no, I don't play the victim. I don't play that shit. I've been through hell and back. Go look at the videos, you'll see. That's all I'm going to say. Go look at the videos, you'll see. I've been trying to make other people sit there and understand. But they don't want to listen. And I can't convince them to sit there. What am I supposed to do? Tie people down and make them listen? I can't do that. That was a client of mine. And I didn't say names of who he was. I've worked with them. Yes, we were friends while we were in the asylum. I sat there, I was there for them. Those people went through hell and back. Those people went through hell and back in Penhurst. Go look up a documentary on Penhurst. Then you understand what I was doing in there. What I was trying to do. I was trying to give them confidence. Let them know they had a voice. Oh, I'm getting a headache and dizzy. If they're past, they're past. But while they were alive, I was giving them the choice that they had a voice. All you want to hear is the bad stuff about, what people think of me. Get to know the real me. Get to know me. And you'll see. See the real me. It might surprise you. It might surprise you when you see a kind fucking person that has a heart of gold. Give me 1 second, I gotta pick up my charger. And that's how I believe. We all believe red. I don't care what fucking color anybody is. We all bleed the same color. That's how I look at it. Nobody wants to understand that. That's how I look at it. That's how I was raised. Not to show judgment. But it's okay for everybody to fucking judge me and want to automatically assume. Like I taught, it's just a word. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. That's how I was taught. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions on how they look at stuff. But I'm not allowed to. Knock it off. Stupid thing. That's in the book. That's how I got raised. Like I said, I don't have a heat in my body. Except for maybe my ex-husband, but that's a different story. But I don't hate nobody on here. I come on here, I want to have fun. I want to do stuff. And just because I have a different way of looking at stuff, that makes me in the wrong. Well, see, you have your opinions. You have your ways of stuff. I have my ways. Everybody's going to have opinion on how they were growing up and stuff. I don't dismiss anything. I mean, I'm sorry if they, hurt anybody the way I see things. But that's how I see it. That's how I was raised. But that's your choice. Just like it's my choice on how I think of things. I never took that out of, anybody. I don't look at it that way though. If that's gonna if that's gonna make you hurt, I'm sorry. But the way society is right now, it's like, come on, we could change this shit. Make it that it's not. But nobody wants to do that. No one wants to see that idea. Sorry, but I'm moving forward and I'm doing what I know I can do. If I gotta keep on standing my ground, I will. But I don't hate nobody. I don't wish harm on anybody. But they can if they really wanted to. That's the thing. Well, apparently, other people do. I don't know how much more I can explain it or make it clear. I'm different than everybody else. I have a different ways of thinking of things, or how things are, or should be. I look at stuff and I look at it that it can one day it can go through. It can be in the near future of what it is. But nobody but nobody wants to see that. Guilty. Seriously. I mean, I've talked to people out here that are a different color. They have no fucking problem with it. I have relatives that are a different color. And I sat there and explained to them. They don't understand it. And they wish that everybody would let it go and move on and let it go forward. Not let it bother them. But there's going to be one day where it's going to have to be faced. We joke around sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, I hate him or anything like that, or I do it for intent. No. We joke around. That's got to be my choice. I try to give people chances. That's what my heart tries to do. I never said that word. You giving me a video where I've said the word. I never did. Show me a video. That's what I'm getting. You're trying to get everybody to understand. One day you'll figure it out. That's all I gotta say is one day you'll figure it out. But I'm gonna sign off because I'm really getting dizzy and I got a headache, like major pounding. I appreciate everybody came in here that wanted to talk. Everybody got their opinions out, which I'm not taking away. Everybody has their own different ways of how they how they were raised. Okay? I'm not judging you by that. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody is different. If everybody was the same, nobody would ever learn. But I need to. This is me. And I don't have no hatred for anybody. Never have and never will. I get disappointed on how stuff goes. But, one day you'll all understand me. Thank you for everybody for, having a topic, coming in here and we're all talking. Yes, I apologize for yelling. But sometimes I gotta get, I gotta get it out. So everybody have a good night. Enjoy your evening. Be safe out there. I will talk to you all soon.
strumming guitar, shirtless, alright. We're here for fun through day and night. Hit like, share the vibe, subscribe, don't take a dive. Ring that bell, join the fun, the Hype Club's #1. Hit like, share the vibe, subscribe, don't take a dive. Ring that bell, join the fun, the Hype Club's #1. Jamie dances, breaking the facade. Jen brings the love, supports the key. Together we're stronger, come and see. Hit like, share the vibe, subscribe, don't take a dive. Ring that bell, join the fun, the Hype Club's #1. Hit like, share the vibe, subscribe, don't take a dive. Subscribe, don't take a dive.